All right, on the bench today, out of a 2003 BMW X5 with the 4.6, we have the ZF5HP24. All right, we got about 154,000 miles on the clock, and this is your typical super common problem with these ZF5HP24s in these BMWs is no forward. Reverse is fine, but you put in drive, the car goes nowhere. Once it goes into limp mode, I was actually able to drive it around, but forward, nothing. So we're either going to be dealing with a blown A-drum, which is super common, and of course we know that that happens because the pressure regulator valve bore wears out, and that causes pressure spikes with the pressure regulator valve. You know, it could go up to 500, 600, 700 pounds, and the weakest link is going to break, which is the A-drum. So we're either looking at that or the skinny O-ring on the back of the A-drum also seals for the A-clutch, and a lot of times there's a bearing, whether it's good or bad, always gets changed because they will eventually go bad, and a lot of times that could go bad and tear that O-ring. But this thing like totally doesn't move, so I'm thinking we're going to be dealing with a blown drum. I did do a code scan. One of the codes that I remember it had was code 59, which is stall monitoring. And that basically means the computer sees the transmission slipping on the pull-away. Okay, also, if these cars don't move forward, or may come in limp mode, and you may also have, I've seen this be more than one occasion, a 720 code, output speed sensor, but it moves because it's in limp mode. And you clear the code, now the code is gone, you put it in drive, the car don't move. So we're going to open this up, and I'm pretty sure, I think I know what we're going to find, but we'll go ahead and start doing the teardown on the ZF5HP24. Okay, so first, here is your fill and check plug. All right, this guy actually really likes AMSOIL, so he puts AMSOIL in this, which is fine. It's a fully synthetic premium fluid, no problem at all, it'll work fine. So here's the fill check plug. So as usual, you would do your first fill with the engine off, and then you start it and do your second fill, first fill with the engine off till it runs out, cap it, start it, fill it again until it runs out. Then on the lift, you could put it through the gears, let it heat up a little, and then you can take, even if you wanted to let it down, drive it and send it back up. Take this back out and make sure you got a steady stream of pitch coming out. All right, so I want to take maybe the back section off here, maybe the bell housing, with the front section will come out. It'll be a little easier to maneuver this thing around. So this is a four-wheel drive. These are T45s, so let's get these out. Also we have this here. This looks like it's an O-ring, and this helps keep the moisture out. Here's an O-ring here that I'm going to change. Everything is going to stay together here. Okay. Also an O-ring here to seal that. We have a shim that we're going to take out. This won't come out yet because it's going to hit the output speed sensor, so we'll leave that in there for now. Okay, here is the shim for the back section there. Okay. Now let's get the front off. All right, these are 17s, the short and the long. easier to pull the bell off now. So let's get this vent out of the holder because that'll stay in the stator. It's actually, looks like it's torn anyway. All right, so this may all come out as one. We can knock this through. Okay. Let's do this. A little bit of corrosion there. No problem. There we go. Okay. Here's the stator. We'll be looking at the ball house that we're going to get rid of on this bench here. Okay, so let's pull, see if we can pull this front section out. Okay. So, let's see what we're dealing with while we got this. All right, so here's a bearing. Uh-oh, you know what? All right, so we got that bearing broke up. This is the bearing. You know, this might have a torn O-ring. This bearing is broken up. Well, it just fell apart. It might have been intact. But this is the one you always change. Whether this thing looks perfect, always change it. Now I want to know what happened here. So let's see what happened. Let me just face this thing down. A little closer. Then I'll readjust. Okay. So let's get the snap ring out. Okay. Here's the A hub. Yeah. All right. So definitely we got a blown A drum and the bearing fell apart. It was probably all together until I moved everything out of the way. Okay, so here is this bearing that goes there, this bearing on the drum. Here is the snap ring that's out. There's a piece totally missing. All right, skinny O-ring is intact. Let me just. Okay, got it. Okay. Skinny O-ring is intact. There it is. So we know that is not our problem, and we know our problem is a blown A drum. You got a section missing right out of there. Typical problem with the A drum. Okay, so we'll look at the clutches and stuff after. Bearings. Let's just get these out of here. Okay. All right, we got the seat drum. And again, we're going to check these bushings. If you have a no reverse hot condition, these bushings in here are no good. Reposition the camera here. Back out a little bit. Okay, move. Okay, so you know what? We got it standing up here. Let's see if we can get the snap ring. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, all right, so we got the snap ring out. Next thing we gotta remove this retainer clip for the harness. Okay, there There's the retainer clip. This will get pushed in. Okay. Okay. So we've got a couple of different bolts in here. So we got some that are probably about 5 Allen. I'll get those out. All right, the rest are the 27. There's my 27. That was probably a 30. One second, let me find my 27. Along with a little extension. I did drain this as good as I can, but I'm sure there's going to be some oil in here. Okay, one left. Get this stuff out of the way. Okay, here's a couple pieces to the drum. Here. Okay. All right. Aftermarket filter. Somebody we know's been in here. Obviously the gasket is different too, but aftermarket filter is a big no-no. On more than one occasion, these things made noise. All right, so we're going to get the output speed sensor out. Put it down there, I'll get it later. All right, so now we can take the park gear out and the exciter ring for the output speed sensor. All right, the input we can leave in there. Now we're going to get the, should be 27, but the larger head bolts will come out, and the smaller ones hold the valve body together. Okay, sometimes you got to look at this thing a few times to figure out which ones they are. And you see this one is long. If you pull the wrong one out, it's obviously going to be much shorter, so you know that that wouldn't be correct. All right, so let's get these out of here. Looks like we've got about 4 more to go. Maybe 5. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. This will come out. Harness pushed through. valve body. Bunch of crap on the input speed sensor. Okay. All right. Okay. Let me get this moved. Let me get the retainer. There. This will go here. All right, now we got a feed tube. Now we got to take it out. So once the bracket off. Okay. Let me get my one thing here. This and this. Okay. Let's see if we can follow this tube. And pull that out. You know, sometimes they say from the valve body sitting here could possibly rub a hole in it. So it's always something to check, but this doesn't look like something here. I don't know who really worked on this thing before me. I'm looking at this right here, but I'll check it if it's good. I'll see if I can get. I probably even have one because I got a few of these parts laying around. So I don't really like that anyway, so I'm going to change that. I want to get the other bolt. Where is it? You know what? I'll just have to turn that. The bolt for the output speed sensor fell down in here, but once I turn it over. Okay, all right, so now the small snap ring and retainers. And then we got to get the seals out. I got the dropsies today. All right, let me get a magnet here. Let me just get this stuff out. Okay, I don't want to lose this clip. Here's the other clip. And let's get the bolt. There is the bolt. Okay. All right, so now we got to get the two seals out. And I have my bolt here. 14, sorry. I got my 14. Okay, there it is. And one more. Okay, got it. The other one. This thing is great. All right, so now we can get the center support out, which houses the D and the E clutch. All right, so hopefully this thing we can just slide her out. These things got to be like perfectly straight. All right, and here are the, one goes on each side, these lugs go on each side to keep the support from turning. Okay, so we'll look at that. Set it out. Implant it. And now the F clutch drum. I'm going to use my shocker to loosen these up here. Those are also torque 40. Those bolts are available just in case they do get ruined. Let me just bring this up a little bit. This. Smooth. Okay. Okay, and that's good. Okay, so now, I'll take them all out except for one. Then I'll lay it out outside and zip these out. This way the drum doesn't fall at the bench, so I'll leave one in. Okay. So these are the bolts anyway, but I know if you need, I know Erickson sells these things if you need them. But you really got to get them out the way that I did because they're in there. It might be a little tight, so you really got to use that shocker to break these things loose. Or even if you try to put something and, you know, maybe an extension or something to hit the bolt just to try to knock it loose a little bit. Okay, we'll take the last one out. Okay, get this drum through. Go. Okay, the case is stripped. All right. All right, let me just get rid of this oil and we'll go through the, look at the pump, open up the clutch packs, take a look at the valve body again, look at the aftermarket filter, check the, we'll check the hollow shaft on the bushing, see how it is. You know, this will come out. Right here, we can double check that, make sure that's good. I had two occasions where no reverse hot, and this was the problem both times. Okay, give me a few, I'll be back. Okay, all right, so let's start with the blown A drum. Let's see if I can get these, yeah, okay, that stuff should come out. Okay. All right, so of course these clutches are burnt. You know, when I take this drum apart, I'm gonna find torn O-rings, I'm sure, from the piston coming up too high and then returning. So this is the A clutch. Okay, here is the little skinny O-ring. Yeah, the A clutch. Okay, here is the B clutch. I looked at this and I'm thinking A clutch ZF5HP24. Okay, this is the B. A lot of time because of these here steels. You know, a lot of times the fragments from the A drum being bad gets caught in here, really screws the steels up, and the stuff gets embedded in the clutches. But I'm going to probably wind up changing these because they're a little scratchy. I don't really like that. Okay, got the wavy. So that is the B clutch. All right, here is the C. Get rid of this. And the C clutch is the same as the A clutch. They are the same. Okay, looks pretty good, but we got a banner kit coming. Okay, here's the D. So now this oil sleeve is going to come out. Okay, now that there's seals on there that need to be changed. So we're just going to take a little bench screw, give it a tap, out it comes. There you go, a couple O-rings on there to be changed. Okay, we got another bearing here, E clutch. Yeah, 554,000 miles, not bad. Okay. Yeah, stay with that. And now the F, we're going to take the snap ring out, take the sprag out, and we'll double check that clutch. Let me get my snap ring pliers. Okay. Snap ring, that's out. Got some play in here, so these clutches are probably worn, and they look good, but they're probably worn out. You know, definitely, I got a friction module coming, but a little too much clearance in there. But even though they look, you know, these things look very good, but they're worn. So they always have to be changed. Okay, and inside here is the F clutch piston. When you change that, you only go OE. Got the two split rings, the Belleville return, and always change that piston. These are known to debond and losing reverse. I mean, I don't see it as much as the A drum problem. That's the #1 problem, but I've seen it on more than one occasion. Don't use an aftermarket because they'll be doing it over again within a year. Okay. All right, here's our pump. I'm going to take the race off here. All right, now let's get all the bolts out, I think. Let's see. Okay, these are 30s. I'm sorry, these are 27s. All right. So I got 2 left in there. Here. Okay, so we will remove the stator. And we're going to actually take the flow control valve out, but let's pump. We have a dowel that'll come out. Here's our pump plate. Okay. You know, something looks like somebody was here because I'm looking at an X scratched in on this pump gear. All right, but hey, we got 2 dots and the dots face up. There's an X on this one too. So somebody was definitely in here and rebuilt this at some point. Okay, so here is there's a snap ring that holds this front seal in. Okay, there's that. There we knocked the front seal off. There's a little spacer in there. And we got a bearing here, but the pump, body, and gears look good. The 2 dots face up. That looks good. The thing is very dirty. Okay. Now I'm going to take this flow control valve out. That is 17. No, I believe that is a 19. Now let's see if the 3/4 fit. Yeah. So that's, I got 3/4 socket on it. And that the spring seat, the spring, and let's get the valve out. Okay, I want to make sure it's nice and clean in here so this valve is free. All right, so this setup goes like this. Okay, so that's that. Let's take a look here. There's this here. This here will come off. Change the O-ring there. Washer here. I always like to check this. There's actually no movement here at all. These are pretty good. No movement here at all on this. All right, give me 1 second. I just gotta go get something to drink. Okay. And real quick, again. All right, so here's the filter. And it doesn't really, it just has the engineering number on it, so you know, to me, this is an aftermarket filter. Would never use this. And here is the valve body. Again, you want to inspect here this lower rear section, or this, upper rear section for being cracked. And when you, usually a symptom of when this section is cracked is when you come to a stop, it'll drop out of speed. Okay, and then of course the lower front section is what's going to be changed, and this is bad. The regulator valve bore is worn out, and that of course created the pressure spike and blew that drum apart. But overall, you know, the valve bodies are pretty good. I get the casting, you know, for this. I swap all the valves over. There is an updated valve. You can also get the casting for this and swap the valves over. Other than that, I don't really see too many problems, really, with these valve bodies. Okay, so I think that's it. I think that's it for this BMW X5 03 with 4.6 ZF5HP24. We're dealing with the typical blown A drum, due to, again, worn regulator and the car not moving forward, but reverse was fine. So I'm gathering up parts for this. Converter's already been sent out, and I'm just waiting for parts. I'll clean this thing up, and there's a lot going on here, so I'll just want to get it apart to see what I need, which I pretty much knew, but wanted to get it apart anyway while I had time. And that's it. So I thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. We will see you next one.